you come to Michigan though, and yeah, well, everything, the world basically
Yeah.
comes to a standstill because it's the COVID year, and then you actually get out there and start playing, and it's not a championship team. So, as a freshman,
Yeah.
what do you remember about that experience? What was it like for you?
2020, like in Hawaii, before I came to college, like that was probably the best time of my life. Just chilling all day, like work out, go home, do nothing all day. Then I came to Michigan, it was like, well, work out. Well, we don't know if we're gonna have a season, but you gonna have practice and you gonna work out. And I'm just like, well, we're not having a season. Like, what are we doing out here? And then they canceled it, and we was just like working out for the longest time, like doing nothing. Like you're not allowed to go out. Like you can't go like meet new people. So work out, go home, do nothing. Like, don't leave your house. Like, you gotta remember, like, this is I'm from Hawaii. Like, you can go to the beach and you can go to the park. No, like, you're not going nowhere here. And you know, it was awful for me. It was bad, bro. I didn't like it. And then we started playing. I remember we came out in Minnesota. It was cold. Like, season starts and it's already cold. So we're out in Minnesota playing, and it was like cardboard cutouts. I'm like, bro, what are we doing? Like, it's just cardboard, and like we're not playing in front of nobody. Like, I forgot somebody scored a touchdown. I could hear him on the other side of the field, like talking. Like, this is not like at the moment. I'm like, this is not what I signed up for. But being like a player, like I'm trying to do whatever I can to help the team though, because I was blessed enough to be in a position to play as a freshman. So basically, my whole focus was, you know, just lock in, stay locked in, and do whatever you can to help this team win. And you know, I was trying my best, but you know, it sucks like how that season turned out for us. But looking back at it, that was probably one of the best things that happened to this team, because there was guys on that team where we were just like, oh yeah, like we can't just be like, we're not just gonna be good just because we're Michigan. Like, we have to be good because we make this team good.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if people are taking that for granted. I don't know who this team was before 2020, but I just know that helped out like a lot of players like me and all the other guys coming in. They're like,
Yeah, man. There were a lot of staff changes after that season too. One of them was not Josh Gaddis though at that time. So, what was it like with him as your coach? What do you remember about him being your coach?
He deep down, he's a very caring, loving guy. He's a very great guy, very great coach. He taught me everything I know, route running, like how to read defenses, like everything. You know, I give that guy a lot of credit. He's a very, very good coach. Coached me like really hard. Sometimes a little too hard, but I know like deep down.
Kind of like your dad?
Yeah, I know he cares about me, but he coached me like really hard. If you guys could see the practice film from 2020, like 2021, you'd probably lose your mind, because that was some of the craziest like practices I've ever seen in my life, especially with like Joe Milton being there and how Gat was designing that offense. It just sucked that it never turned out to be like that in the game.
So give me an idea when you say if we had seen practices. I mean, what do you mean about that?
So there's this play, I don't know what the concept was, but I'm running over the field. Giles Jackson is on like a deep post, and Joe Milton like scrambles out the pocket. He's running to his left, and then throws the ball like 70 yards to Giles for like a touchdown in the 2-minute drill. And I'm like 50 yards down the field. So when he turns and he's getting ready to throw, I'm like, oh, he's throwing it to me. The ball is just flying over my head straight to Giles, like for a touchdown. I think that was like the craziest thing ever. Like, I don't know, it was just like things like that just happened, and like it was
just
normal.
couldn't translate to the field though.
Yeah, it just never happened that way.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's working out for everybody so far.
So you said, you know, everything that you know about football. So was it more as a high schooler you were just playing and then you kind of learned the game once you got to college?
Yeah, so in high school it was just like just beat the guy in front of you, but now like I'm reading defenses like 1 high, 2 high, nickel pressure, like things like that, like small things. I'm not perfect yet, but you know, he really was like the first guy to start teaching me stuff. And like even I didn't even know what an RPO was until I got to college. So it's just things like that.
So when you get with a coach like that who basically schools you in the game, teaches you everything, you know, how does it impact you when he leaves? Like, what do you remember about that?
When Coach Gaddis was leaving, I felt like I used him as a very good resource and got a lot of information out of him. That whole whatever even happened, you know, he probably felt like that was the best decision for him to go to Miami. And, you know, when I talked to him, he's just like, hey, like, you know, I'm proud of you. Like, you're gonna be a great player, and you know, if you ever need anything, you call me up. So.
Was there ever any part of you that thought about going with him?
A little bit. Like, everyone like weighs their options a little bit, like thinks about it in the off season. But I never really truly felt like I was gonna leave. You know, I just like, you think about stuff, you go over it, but deep down, like I knew I wasn't leaving.